No overproduction. I don't have to overthink it. I don't have to worry about fancy editing and music and all of that. Because frankly, if I had to do that, it wouldn't be fun and I wouldn't do them. So, on tap today for the daily millionaire news, we gotta start with Target. Target, again, a big box retailer, posted surprisingly bad holiday sales. And there's a couple of things that jumped out at me. First off, they did grow, right? They grew sales 1.4%. However, that's versus 5.7% last year. More importantly, uh, toys were flat, toy sales were flat, and electronic sales were, in their words, underwhelming. I would say a negative 6%, year on year sales is a flat out miss, but they call it underperforming. Probably the most disturbing quote I saw from the article was something that they tried to slide by us to make a positive. Get this. This is what they said, and then let's think about what it really means. So again, this is Target's executive saying, uh, people are more comfortable shopping later. We saw 5x curbside pickups on December 24th. So I look at that and I go, are you nuts? No, what that means is not that they're more comfortable shopping later, it's that they come to you as a last resort if they've delayed everything. Other than that, they're going to Amazon. I don't know what Target executives are really trying to say here, but clearly, as we all knew, right? Record online sales. We've now heard from Kohl's hugely disappointing holiday sales. Bed Bath and Beyond, now Target, Macy's, all of them reporting underwhelming growth, and it's Amazon, right? It's I don't know why. I wonder if they just feel like it's Beetlejuice, right? If you say the name 3 times in an earnings call, like your stocks freak out or something. I don't know, but so Target missed. Yes, if you're gonna shop for Christmas on the 24th, Amazon's probably not going to get you most items in time. So you go to Target, right? Target's got it. It's down the street. You go. You pick it up at the curb. You wrap. You're done. Um, so yeah, it's not shocking that December 24th was a big pickup day for you. So uh, Target, you're fooling yourself if you really believe that, which I don't think you do. You need to figure this out because Amazon is eating your lunch. So need to figure that out. Just staying on the Amazon topic for a minute, there's kind of a rumbling in the market, or at least in the retail market, that kind of the dollar stores, Dollar General, things of that nature, were kind of a place where Amazon wouldn't play, right? 99 cents this, $1.50 that, that kind of market. But it looks like Amazon is actually going down market, right? They're moving down to the Dollar General, dollar store level, and it's going to be interesting because at some point, shipping just becomes a problem, right? Shipping's not free, and it's I can't imagine shipping a dollar this or a dollar that, right? Putting it in a warehouse, shipping it. I mean, all of that, just doesn't compute. But there is talk of Amazon moving downstream, so we're gonna have to watch that. The other thing is the dollar stores have always been known as quote unquote impulse buys, right? Kind of walk up to the register and go, "Ooh, I need one of those." And Amazon has been great at impulse buys, but the way their app is behaving now, I think they are certainly moving towards impulse buys. So once again, Amazon is the king of retailers. It needs to be respected. It is the retailer on the planet. So interesting. Next up, I'm curious. Leave comments below. I'd love to hear an answer to this question. Any of you actually watching the Democratic debates, like watching them on TV or streaming them, or wherever how you choose to consume your content? I'll be honest, I'm not. However, I am reading what's going on because one of the things, regardless of which party you follow, you need to pay attention because we do have an election later this year, and either way it goes, it's going to impact our money, right? And if you're interested in money investing, you need to pay attention because that election will affect consumer confidence. It will probably affect taxes. It will affect all kinds of things. So to think that we can just sit by and ignore um, what is coming at the end of the year would be foolhardy. So I am certainly reading up on each of the Democratic candidates, seeing where they land on different topics. And I will certainly be paying a lot more attention as they get closer to the finish line. I don't really care that there's whatever it is, 15 or 12 or how many are left. But as they get down to the last two or three, I'm certainly going to be paying attention because I want to see where the two people at the end are going for the election because I care about my money, I care about cost of capital, I care about taxes. I want to see what the next 4 years could be like. So you need to pay attention. If you're not watching it, no big deal. It's kind of early, but something we should all pay attention to as we go forward because it will absolutely have an effect on our money, consumer confidence, taxes, and that's stuff you should care about because in this consumer-based economy, those are very important things. Next up, I've done a little bit more reading on BlackRock. If you remember yesterday, I talked about BlackRock, more specifically Larry Fink, putting out a CEO letter talking about climate change. And I had to figure out really where he was going with this. One of the things that I took away is he is promising, and again, that's a promise, so we'll see what he does, to divest any company in his portfolios that generates 25% of its revenue or more from coal. I think that's interesting, right? Coal is seen as a pollutant. It is seen as an inefficient thing. It's uh, blamed for a lot of the things that cause this climate change. And we're going to see if he puts his money where his mouth is. Right now, it's a promise. Right now, it's marketing material. It's fodder for TV conversations. But as I recall from yesterday, there are $7 trillion under management. So you got to believe his companies are in some stuff. So it'll be interesting, right? Because you'll be able to see if BlackRock dumps companies that have more than 25% of the revenue from coal, it will show up in the tape, as stock traders say. So it will be interesting um, if he kind of puts his money where his mouth is. Today should be a big day for the trade war. I've heard all along that January 15th is the day. I haven't seen kind of any big headlines on it yet, but you got to imagine there's going to be a bunch of photographs and signings and all of that stuff. We talked yesterday about what's in it. I did see that there's already talk about a phase two kind of negotiations that will include the rollback of additional tariffs, which is good because that's kind of the thing that got this started is and started hurting China was the tariffs. So we need to see that. It'll be interesting for me because the trade war really started to put a drag on um, capital expenditures by businesses, right? Businesses started throttling back investments, keeping cash because they didn't know where this thing was going. So it will be very interesting to see if capital expenditures expand in Q1. That's a critical thing to watch because again, we have so much going right now that if capital expenditures go on, um, oh, thank you, I appreciate that. Uh, Capital expenditures expand, that could just be rocket fuel for the economy as we go forward because the consumer is already strong. Businesses throttled back in Q4, so it will be interesting to see if that moves forward. So definitely something to watch. Big expectations there. I did see a quote from a analyst at PNC, Amanda. I'm going to say Agati. I'm probably mispronouncing that, but I gave it my best effort. She actually had a quote that scared me a little bit. It said, "Worst thing an investor can do is sell." Basically, sell in today's market. And it goes on to say that there's still time on the clock. I see stuff like that, and I go, you know, you're at a bar, you're already pretty liquored up, and yes, you could order more alcohol for sure, but is that always the right idea? And this clock she speaks of, if she can tell me where it is, I'd love to see it, right? There's the old saying that bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. At what point does this become, you know, a pig or a hog or whatever you want to call it? When do we start getting too greedy? When was taking a profit a bad thing? You know, I don't like. I mean, I've seen this movie so many times before, right? Everything's going right, and then boom, something out of left field comes in, and the market's down 12% in 2 weeks. That said, to her point, we have so much going right now. Early earnings announcements have been generally positive outside of the retail sector, right? Retail is getting crushed. But, you know, she's probably right. There's probably some more time on the clock, but I've never seen the clock. I don't know where the clock is. My emotions always got the better of me. Hence, I haven't put a dollar in stocks in years, probably decades. So, again, that's what I got going on. Again, you really got to start watching or at least pay attention to the Democratic debates, not because there's really anything interesting going on. Just because there is going to be the election later this year, that election will impact your money, consumer confidence, taxes, all of that. Target missed. I think they had just a weak excuse about December 24th, 5x curbside pickups. No, you're just admitting Amazon's eating your lunch. Stop treating them like Beetlejuice. Put them up there and go after them. Don't just pretend like they're not there. Phase one should be signed today, so we shall see, and then we'll see if that picks up business impact, business investment, capital expenditures, things of that nature. So at the end, that is the Daily Millionaire News. I'll be back at it tomorrow morning live, and again, I like live because no editing, no fancy production, no music. It's just raw and who I am, and it's fun. If I had to do all that editing and stuff, I wouldn't do it. It'd be no fun. All right, everybody, take care. Have a wonderful day.